right, let's jump in. Today, we're taking some ancient wisdom and spinning it with a modern beat. This is our breakdown of the Stoic wisdom of the Meditations Mixtape. You know that feeling, right? The storm is raging, life is just throwing everything it has at you, and it's completely out of your control. This lyric from Eugillius Maximus just hits that feeling right on the head. You can't fight the sky. So, what can you do? And that's the big question, isn't it? What if, buried in the past, there was a key, a timeless philosophy forged thousands of years ago that could actually give us a sense of calm and control in the middle of all our modern-day chaos? Well, this isn't your grandfather's dusty old philosophy book. Nope, this is Stoicism remixed and reimagined through the beats and rhymes of an incredible album, the Meditations Mixtape. We're going to explore how this ancient operating system for the mind gets a much-needed update. Okay, first up, the storm and the mixtape. This section is all about trying to find your footing when it seriously feels like the world is spinning wild. So if the world is a storm, what do? The Stoics offered a kind of master key. And get this, it's not a key to stop the storm, but something way more powerful. A key to command yourself while you're in it. And boom, there's the secret, right there in the lyrics. The world does what it's gonna do. It doesn't ask for your opinion, right? But your mind, your inner world, that is your kingdom. You hold that key. This brings us to the absolute core idea of Stoicism, the foundation this whole mixtape is built on, the dichotomy of control. It sounds fancy, but it's a really simple, powerful filter for life. Learn to separate what you can control from what you can't. That's it. And this breaks it down perfectly, using lines from the album. So on the left, you've got the stuff you can't control, the externals, the rain, time passing, what other people think or do. Forget about it. But look at the right. That's your turf. You control the fire burning inside, your choice in how to respond, the fortress in your heart. And this is the punchline. It's not the things that upset us, it's our judgments about them. Okay, it sounds great on a slide, right? It makes sense, but did anyone ever really manage to live this way? I mean, especially when things got really, really chaotic? You bet they did. Let's meet the masters of this craft. And we're talking about three incredible people from completely different walks of life. A founder who lost every penny he had, a slave who discovered freedom in his own mind, and an emperor who ruled the most powerful empire in the world. And listen, this philosophy wasn't some flash in the pan. We're talking about a legacy stretching from Zeno around 300 BC all the way to Marcus Aurelius almost 500 years later. These ideas have been seriously pressure tested by history. Let's start with the founder, Zeno. So picture this. He was a super wealthy merchant. He loses everything, and I mean everything, in a shipwreck. He washes up in Athens with nothing to his name. And it was in that moment of total loss that he found a kind of wealth that no storm could ever take away. And what was his great insight? That we have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. We should listen twice as much as we speak. He learned that by just quietly observing the world, without jumping to conclusions, he could find a truth that was way more valuable than all the gold he'd lost at sea. Next up, Epictetus. Now he was on the complete opposite end of the social ladder. He was born a slave. His master physically crippled him. But Epictetus proved that you don't need external freedom to be truly internally free. And this lyric just says it all. His body was literally owned by someone else, but his mind, his thoughts, his choices, those were his and his alone. He taught that the real prison isn't made of iron bars. It's made of our own fears and uncontrolled desires. And finally, Marcus Aurelius. This guy was the most powerful man on earth. And he wasn't practicing Stoicism in some quiet monastery. He was leading the Roman Empire through nonstop war, political backstabbing, and a horrific plague. His private journal, which we call the Meditations, was basically his toolkit for staying sane under unimaginable pressure. For the emperor, it all came back to this one simple, powerful mantra: control what you can. Everything else, it's just background noise. It's just like the rain. You notice it, but you don't let it flood your house. You just let it wash away. So we have the theory, we have these amazing role models, but how do we actually do this stuff? That brings us to the grind, the part where this philosophy stops being words on a page and starts being part of your life. And this is the heart of it, right here. You can read all the books, memorize all the quotes, but as the mixtape says, That's not where real wisdom comes from. Wisdom is earned in the sweat, in the daily effort of actually applying these ideas. So, the Stoic grind is a process, a loop. Step 1, you learn the words, you get the ideas. Step 2, you practice the actions when you get cut off in traffic, when you get some bad news. Step 3, through that constant practice, you start to carve yourself, to shape your character. And finally, step 4, through all that lived experience, you find real wisdom. It just keeps going. Learn, do, become. Which brings us to the ultimate goal of all this work. It's not about being some emotionless robot. It's about building something strong, something unshakable inside you, your inner citadel. I want you to let this one really sink in for a second. The goal is not to control the world. You never will. The Stoics knew that was a losing game. The real victory is to build a mind, a fortress inside you, that the chaotic world can't touch, can't break, can't control. And what a way to wrap it up. The real treasure isn't out there somewhere. It's in here. Contentment isn't something you chase, it's a crown you put on. Peace isn't a destination, it's a throne you sit on, inside yourself. It all comes from letting go of that death grip on the outside world and finding a home in your own soul. From a shipwrecked merchant to enslaved philosopher to a powerful emperor, they all proved this was possible. They used these exact tools to build their fortress. So the question this mixtape leaves us with is a simple one. What will you build with yours?
The real work starts within your mind.